Welcome back to another epic showdown, Fulcrum versus Beyonder. When two entities standing at the absolute pinnacle of the cosmic hierarchy confront one another, it is no longer a battle in any sense that the mortal mind can comprehend. On one side stands Fulcrum, the embodiment of the Supreme Being, the invisible hand behind every event, every universe, and every timeline. He does not need to fight because he is the battlefield, the weapon, and the final judge. On the other side stands a being from beyond, from a realm of absolute nothingness. He exists outside the multiverse, looking down upon it the way a child looks into an aquarium. He is the Beyonder, an entity whose power was once described as being millions of times greater than the entire Marvel multiverse combined. When Fulcrum faces Beyonder, when the Almighty confronts the one who once proclaimed himself God, who will be the last one standing? Fulcrum is not a superhero. He is not a villain. He is not a cosmic entity in the way we understand beings like Galactus, Eternity, or Living Tribunal. Fulcrum is something entirely different. He first appears in the form of an ordinary bartender in a bar where the Eternals gather. No one pays attention to him, no one questions his existence. He is simply there, quiet and composed, as though he had always been there long before the universe itself came into existence. But as the story gradually unfolds and the layers of mystery are peeled away, a terrifying truth is revealed. Fulcrum is not a bartender. He is the one above all, the Supreme Being, the most powerful entity in the entire Marvel multiverse, or at least he is the manifestation, the avatar, the form through which the Supreme Being chooses to interact with lesser beings. Fulcrum has no origin in the conventional sense. He was never born, he was never created, he came from nowhere, he simply exists. He's the author of the story, the one holding the pen that writes every universe, every character, and every event. Everything that exists within the Marvel multiverse exists because Fulcrum allows it to exist. Every power, every form of magic, and every law of physics is nothing more than a rule established by Fulcrum. He is bound by no law because he is the one who wrote those laws. Fulcrum's tragedy, if it can even be called one, lies in the absolute loneliness of omnipotence. When you are everything, when you know everything, when you can do everything, nothing remains surprising, nothing remains challenging, and nothing retains meaning. Fulcrum chose the form of a bartender not because he wished to hide, but because he wanted to experience ordinary life, to become part of the story instead of merely telling it. It is the only desire that omnipotence cannot fulfill, the desire to be limited, to be finite. Fulcrum stands above all, above Living Tribunal, above eternity and death, above infinity and oblivion. He is the absolute summit, the ceiling above every ceiling. No entity in the Marvel multiverse can equal him, let alone surpass him. He is the ultimate definition of power. Fulcrum can do absolutely anything. There are no exceptions, there are no conditions. He can create universes from nothingness, erase the entire multiverse with the snap of a finger, rewrite the history of every timeline, alter the very nature of reality, turn nothing into something and something into nothing. His power is not an amount of energy that can be measured. It is pure infinity. In Eternals, he is portrayed as capable of manipulating every aspect of existence through nothing more than his will. He requires no incantations, no technology, and no tools of any kind. His thoughts are commands, and reality has no choice but to obey. Fulcrum knows everything. Every event that has happened, is happening, and will happen across every universe, every timeline, and every possibility. He knows the thoughts of every being. He knows the outcome of every battle before it even begins. He knows every weakness, every strategy, and every possible outcome. Nothing can be hidden from him. No scheme can deceive him. No surprise can ever catch him off guard. Fulcrum exists everywhere at once. He is present in every universe, every dimension, and every moment in time. He cannot be imprisoned, banished, or cast out from anywhere because he is the very thing that is there. You cannot remove Fulcrum from reality because Fulcrum is reality itself. Fulcrum does not merely manipulate matter and energy. He manipulates abstract concepts. He can erase the concept of death, redefine the meaning of life, rewrite the definition of power, or simply decide that an entity never existed at all. This is a level of power that transcends every other cosmic entity. In Eternals, Fulcrum is portrayed as the force behind every major event. He is the one who allows the Celestials to carry out their work of creation. He is the one who established the rules that even the living tribunal must obey. He is the one before whom even the highest cosmic entities must bow. When he decides that an event will happen, it happens. There are no exceptions. There is no resistance. Now, let's turn our attention to Beyonder. Beyonder is omnipotence expressed in its loudest, most arrogant, and most defiant form. He comes from a realm known as the Beyond, a domain that exists outside every universe, every dimension, and every concept of existence we have ever known. The Beyond is not a distant planet or another dimension. It is the negation of everything. It is a place where even the concept of a place does not exist. The Beyonder first appeared during the Secret Wars event in 1984. He was the sole entity within the realm of the Beyond, an infinite ocean of energy in which he was the only drop. His power, as originally described, was millions of times greater than the entire Marvel multiverse combined. He was not merely more powerful than every cosmic entity, he was more powerful than all of them combined, multiplied by millions. To him, the entire Marvel multiverse was nothing more than a tiny island in the endless ocean over which he reigned. Beyonder's motivation was not cruelty or a desire for conquest. He came to the Marvel multiverse out of pure curiosity. He wanted to understand desire, ambition, and the conflict between good and evil, concepts that a solitary omnipotent being could never truly experience. He created Battleworld not out of hatred, but because he wanted to see what would happen when insignificant beings were placed in an extreme situation. He was a child with a microscope, and the Marvel multiverse was the collection of microorganisms he observed. However, Beyonder's history in Marvel Comics is extraordinarily complicated and has been retconned many times. Originally, he was an omnipotent entity from the Beyond. Later, Marvel retconned him into an incomplete cosmic cube. Then, he was retconned into a mutated inhuman. After that, he was once again retconned into a cosmic entity. With every retcon, his power was significantly reduced. Beyonder carries within him the loneliness of being the only entity in the void. He has no equals, no one to speak to, and no one to challenge him. His entire existence before discovering the Marvel multiverse was one of endless silence. It was that silence that gave birth to an overwhelming longing within him, the longing to feel, to fight, and to exist in a world that held meaning. That is why he came. That is why he created Secret Wars. Not because he wished to destroy, but because he wanted to live. Beyonder's power was explicitly stated to be millions of times greater than the entire Marvel multiverse combined. This means that even if you added together the power of every celestial, every cosmic entity, every god, and every abstract being throughout the entire Marvel multiverse, the total would still amount to only 1/1,000,000th of Beyonder's power. He does not belong to the hierarchy of the Marvel multiverse. He exists outside it, above it, and far beyond it. Beyonder can alter any aspect of reality at will. He created Battleworld, a colossal planet assembled from fragments of numerous other worlds with nothing more than a single thought. He can create something from nothing, transform matter into energy, rewrite the laws of physics, or simply decide that something no longer exists. In Secret Wars 2, he threatened to erase the entire Marvel multiverse simply because he felt disappointed. Beyonder cannot be killed by any entity within the Marvel multiverse. His body, if it can even be called a body, is composed of the pure energy of the Beyond. No weapon, no form of energy, and no spell within the Marvel multiverse can harm him. He withstood the simultaneous attacks of hundreds of superheroes without suffering the slightest injury. Even beings such as Galactus or the Living Tribunal could do nothing more than attempt to negotiate with him. Beyonder can travel freely between dimensions, move through time, create pocket universes, or compress all of space into a single point. He is not bound by any laws of space and time. To him, time is an optional concept, and space is nothing more than a sheet of paper that he can fold or tear apart at will. Beyonder can absorb every form of energy and transform it however he wishes. In Secret Wars 2, he absorbed the energy of billions of stars simply to satisfy his curiosity. He can also convert that energy into any other form, whether matter, life, abstract concepts, or simply erase it from existence altogether. Although the power of the pre-retcon Beyonder is nearly absolute, he still possesses several inherent weaknesses. First, he lacks combat experience. Beyonder had never truly fought before arriving in the Marvel multiverse. He does not know how to fight. He has no combat skills, no techniques, and no strategy. He relies solely on overwhelming power. Second, he is deeply influenced by emotion. Curiosity, disappointment, and loneliness make him vulnerable to psychological manipulation. Third, and most importantly, he is not the supreme being. Although his power surpasses every entity within the Marvel multiverse, he is still a created being, a part of a greater system. And that greater system is Fulcrum. This is a confrontation on the highest possible level, a battle between two different tiers of infinity, between true omnipotence and power that is merely almost omnipotent. Fulcrum is not simply the most powerful entity in the Marvel multiverse. He is the one who created the Marvel multiverse. He is the one who wrote every law, every definition, and every limitation. No matter how powerful Beyonder may be, no matter that he comes from the beyond, no matter that his power surpasses the multiverse by millions of times, he is still a character within the story that Fulcrum wrote. He is a single brushstroke on a painting for which Fulcrum is the artist. You cannot defeat the one holding the pen by becoming a more powerful character inside the painting, because the one holding the pen can simply erase you. Beyonder comes from the beyond, a realm that exists outside the Marvel multiverse. That is what makes him unique. But Fulcrum is not confined by the Marvel multiverse. Fulcrum is everything. The beyond itself exists only because Fulcrum allows it to exist. Beyonder may be the most powerful being in his own realm, but that realm is still only a tiny part of the greater whole that Fulcrum represents. Beyonder possesses overwhelming raw power. He can destroy the multiverse, create new realities, and manipulate every form of energy. If this were a contest of brute force and raw energy alone, Beyonder would be a formidable opponent. But Fulcrum does not fight with brute force. He fights with conceptual authority. He can simply decide that Beyonder's power no longer exists. He can rewrite the definition of the beyond so that it no longer contains energy. He can transform Beyonder into an abstract concept or simply deny his existence altogether. This is not a battle that can be decided by power alone. Fulcrum knows everything. He knows what Beyonder will do before Beyonder even thinks of doing it. He knows every strategy, every possibility, and every outcome. There is nothing Beyonder can do that Fulcrum has not already foreseen. By contrast, Beyonder suffers from a severe lack of combat experience. He has never faced an entity that he could not overwhelm with sheer power. He does not know how to fight when his power is ineffective, and against Fulcrum, his power will be ineffective. For the first time in his existence, Beyonder will stand before an entity he cannot threaten, cannot overpower, and cannot destroy. The battle begins with Beyonder's arrogance. He will sense Fulcrum's presence and, for the first time, feel a pressure unlike anything he has ever experienced. But Beyonder's nature is to challenge. He will not bow. He will not accept that there is a being more powerful than himself. He will unleash the first attack, a wave of energy powerful enough to erase millions of universes at once, aimed directly at Fulcrum with the intent of wiping his existence from every reality. The wave of energy will reach Fulcrum, and nothing happened. Not because Fulcrum blocks it, not because Fulcrum absorbs it, but because Fulcrum simply decides that the wave never existed. It was never unleashed, it never even formed within Beyonder's mind. Reality rewrites itself to conform to Fulcrum's will. Beyonder will be stunned. For the first time in his endless existence, he experiences helplessness. He will try again. This time, he will attempt to manipulate the very concept of Fulcrum, trying to erase the meaning of Fulcrum's existence, attempting to rewrite reality so that Fulcrum never existed. But the effort is utterly futile. Fulcrum will not retaliate in any way we would recognize. He will not launch an attack. He will not cast a spell. He will simply look at Beyonder, and within that single glance, Beyonder will understand. He will understand that all of his power, all of his authority, and his entire existence are gifts granted by the being standing before him. He will understand that the beyond, the void he proudly calls his domain, is nothing more than a tiny corner of the endless masterpiece painted by Fulcrum. If Fulcrum chooses to end everything, he will not need to fight. He will only need to think. A single thought, and Beyonder will cease to exist, not because he is killed, not because he is defeated, but because he simply never existed in the first place. The beyond will no longer contain him. Every memory of him will be erased from every timeline. Every reality he ever touched will rewrite itself as though he had never been there. But Fulcrum may choose not to do that. because Fulcrum, in the form of the bartender, possesses a curiosity much like Beyonder's own. He may instead choose to talk. He may invite Beyonder to sit down, pour him a drink, and ask, "What is it that you want? What is it that you came here seeking?" And in that moment, the battle will end not through destruction, but through understanding. Because Fulcrum knows that Beyonder, no matter how powerful he may be, is ultimately just a lonely child searching for the meaning of existence. This victory belongs to Fulcrum, and it does not come from being stronger in any physical or energetic sense. It comes from the very nature of existence itself. Fulcrum is not a warrior who is stronger than Beyonder. Fulcrum is the one who created the very concepts of warriors, power, victory, and defeat. Beyonder is an astonishing entity. In his pre-retcon incarnation, his power represents the pinnacle of cosmic might. He can erase the multiverse, manipulate reality, and stand above every cosmic entity, but he is still part of the system. He is still a character within the story, and Fulcrum is the one holding the pen. And that concludes our in-depth analysis of the ultimate confrontation between Fulcrum and Beyonder. Thank you all for watching. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for your support.